Thank you very much. So, Belen, a pleasure to...
He said that we have big pockets, so
Yeah.
just need to...
But we need deep pockets, right, for climate tech,
Yeah,
right? So, as an entrepreneur in climate tech, I've seen what it is, and deep tech has a big chunk of importance, right, in this field. So, what's your opinion on that?
Of course. Well, first of all, I would want to thank you for South Summit team to invite us today to talk about a so specific item as the deep science and the science equity. We know that the world is fully digital-centered, and all the startups and scale-ups are so fast accelerated by this kind of digital revolution. 90% of the patents that are environmental innovation in Europe are based in deep science. 2/3 of the investment in R&D in Europe are based in deep science. So when you are an industrial company and you feel that the way of accelerating the innovation is your responsibility as a corporate, you really need to take into account the deep science, digital or not, digital and not, I would say. We are all in the same page. In that sense, Europe has been stating the strategy for 2030 based in competitiveness, based in resilience, and based in sustainability. And the innovation is a key role player for that. And we really believe that the scale-up and the acceleration of startups based in deep science is really a need for achieving the goals that we have for mitigating the climate change that we have here at home with us.
So Europe is pushing, right, towards the direction of sustainability and climate change. So big corporate companies are starting to put big money in there, right? There's always this controversial thing about profitability and sustainability, right? So how do you see this at Cepsa?
We are lack of patience in general in the world. We are in the culture of the immediate results, and this is clearly coming through digital. When you need an expensive capex, when you really need to invest in huge technology that is giving results in long term, then the challenge is, okay, what about investing on that or just letting them live and let's go on more quick results? Cepsa is a long-term company. Cepsa is has a long-term vision, and we really believe that the only way to accelerate the energy transition is through, of course, digital business models, but also on deep tech and deep science. And the ecosystem of startups and scale-ups, they are really there for helping us. We really need fewer pockets, we know that. And we also need a lot of patience because the time to market for those options are obviously later on. We need to run in front of the regulation. The regulation should be or shall be beyond. The reality is not an easy task, but we really think that it is on our responsibility to go on that sense, trying to get more reach on the innovation ecosystem and portfolio. And I know that there are probably a lot of startups today listening at me and saying, okay, she's saying that, but what about specific facts? Which are the different focus lines or technologies that Cepsa would be interested? So I think that the objective of today was also to explain which
Yeah, sure, because as you mentioned, right, the time frame is much longer, right? As an entrepreneur, usually it's like a marathon, right? But in deep tech, maybe like an Ironman, maybe, rather than a marathon, right? So for you, like 2030, what are your objectives as a corporate?
Cepsa will have a huge ambition for transforming our business in a net zero company. We've been investing in the last years in our first different innovative businesses based in several pillars. One of those pillars are the green molecules. We believe that the electrification is not enough to achieve the decarbonization goals. We really need to invest also in green molecules, green hydrogen as an energy vector that is capable to decarbonize where the electricity is not capable for. Cepsa, we are experts in fuels, we are experts in biofuels, and we are now experts in accelerating also the green hydrogen market. The green hydrogen market and the green hydrogen derivatives. Ammonia, methanol, you probably know that the green hydrogen is a molecule that is not easy to transport. It's not a stable molecule to be stored and transport. So the green fuels or the green derivatives from the hydrogen are the ones that are capable to be transported and become the energy capable for making the different activities that we have in the mobility, hard to abate mobility sector. This is, as you've heard, the green methanol, the green ammonia, those kind of technologies. We are ready to listen beyond the standard technologies, which are the ones that the ecosystem of scale-ups and startups can help us. In all the value chain, not only the generation, but also the transportation, the distribution, the storage, we are really impatient to see for this kind of deep science startups that could help us. We are also very interested in the innovation to circular economy,
Okay.
to take feedstocks and transform them into biofuels, sustainable aviation fuels for the aircraft transportation.
Okay.
So with the current CapEx that we have in the company, we are able also to pilot solutions to help startups to accelerate the technology in that sense.
Yeah, tell me, right? You put fabrics, right? You use the fabrics that you have to collaborate with third parties and to try to innovate in this field. Could you explain a bit more, for instance, or give an example of this?
In terms of circular economy, or
Yeah, or the assets that you put at disposal of startups or other corporations, like.
Of course,
what do
of
you
course.
do
We have several success cases for accelerating deep tech startups. One, for instance, coming from the green hydrogen storage. And this is a spin-off of the Cambridge University called Immaterial. We've been accelerating their capability to store green hydrogen, also the capability with the technology to capture and absorb the CO2.
Okay.
Also very interesting in order to mitigate the carbon emissions. Immaterial is basically a spin-off that needed the help of a corporate in order to accelerate the technology and to scale up the technology. They are inside our Center of Innovation for Energy Transition now. They've installed a pilot plant, and we are helping them for a long-term partnership. The alliances are really important in that sense.
And where do you look for startups, like only in Spain or worldwide? You have presence
we had a thought
globally?
We had a thought this last year how to make it sustainable, this process of trying to push the deep tech startups. And we decided, I'm really happy to do that here today, to launch our first acceleration program called Cepsa Light Up.
Okay.
Cepsa Light Up is an acceleration program that we would want to accelerate the digital business model solutions and also specialized in the deep tech startups. Cepsa Light Up would help those kind of scale-ups and startups as in Material, as we've been doing that with them, and inviting them also to come and pilot these solutions in our centers of innovation. So we have a place to pilot, we have the means. We are also interested in diversifying our focus on the energy storage and the batteries. We are very interested in electrical mobility, in innovative mobility. Our strategy is called Positive Motion. Positive Motion is based in green molecules and the capability to decarbonize further than the electricity, and also the sustainable mobility solutions. And inside the sustainable mobility solutions, we are including all the new and innovative ways of storing.
So what type of startup are you looking at? Like early stage, more scale-up type of companies?
We are going to be quite flexible.
Okay.
Obviously, we are going to implement in the process, probably from tier L4 above, but we would want also to catch up real opportunities, even if they are lower than tier L4, because we really believe that the deep tech startups require a specific treatment. So if we really have an opportunity to accelerate them, we will see the way of doing that. But in principle, we are going to try to launch that acceleration program for and on.
So how long is going to last the program?
Okay, we are preparing the first call now. We are launching the first call with the selected challenges coming from CEPSA business by the end of the year.
Okay.
And we will be preparing this selection of startups and scale-ups by the first quarter of 2020.
And what's your objective there? To like sell more, or to invest in these companies, or to do co-development with them?
We are going to cover absolutely all the phases,
Okay.
right? The first phase will be the piloting. We are interested in investing in them if this is the case, but our obsession, our mission would be to try to look for success on the piloting of the technology and trying to look at the way that those technologies can impact in CEPSA business. So to implement the pilot up to the business, up to CEPSA business. Obviously, the evaluation on the capability on investing on them apart will be done
So
also.
this would be the second phase, right, of investing. Do you have an idea of amounts to be invested in these companies or not yet?
In the deeper science world, it is not as in the common world. We really need to evaluate case by case. Obviously, we'll have an idea and a budget, but we really have enough intention from a financial point of view to evaluate case by case and try to select the most strategic ones that are going on CEPSA business impact.
No, it's cool. I mean, I remember as a professor at iBusiness School, we were doing training to all the employees on how to innovate. I think you changed as well the direction of the company with new people coming in. You were the one, you came as well like a few months ago. Like, how do you expect the whole organization to be involved with, you know, startups and the ecosystem? It was the first time as well that you're participating as a brand, right, as a company to the South Summit. So how do you see and how do you move the whole company towards innovation?
I believe that the open innovation inside the company is a process, a company process. It requires a collaborative work between all the business, innovation, digital, and the rest of the departments involved, because it is a different way of innovating, an additional way of innovating. So we really believe that this is an internal process. This is a cultural change that we would want to implement inside CEPSA and increase the CEPSA startups ecosystem in order to give us more speed, to give us more creativity, to allow the big corporation to innovate faster and to implement solutions, technological solutions, into the business with a higher level of success.
Do you collaborate as well in deep tech with other big corporations?
We are open to do that.
Okay.
We have had examples of doing that,
Okay.
and we really believe that the innovation is from the energy sector. The challenge to achieve the energy transition is for all of us.
So could you give us an example of a collaboration with other corporates that you've seen?
In CEPSA, you mean?
Yeah.
In CEPSA in the past, there are a lot of collaborations regarding investing in startups together. We were investing in the past in some companies relative to a specific business. We've not
Okay.
given the names by the moment, but the energy sector has some companies coming from the electrical side, some companies coming from others that are not electrical, more devoted to the green molecules, and we have altogether a mission that is the energy transition. So the way of having all them together in the same ship, trying to invest in some technologies that are, well, a good option for each company is something that is boosting the innovation, and we really believe that is a possibility and a real option between not only companies, competitors, but also customers.
Okay.
The customer innovation is also another way of innovating.
And do you see differences in deep tech developments from Southern Europe to Northern Europe to the US, for instance?
Yes, there are a lot of differences. There are some statistics that are showing to us that the R&D in Europe is really strong in terms of investment capability. The R&D in the US is obviously very strong in terms of capability, but the capability to transform the R&D into the business is not so high in Europe than in the United States. So we need to really learn about how we can go into the business with that kind of technologies. Remember, 90% of the patents in Europe are coming from environmental innovation, are coming from deep science. So we cannot let them as patents. We need to try to convert them into the business. And we really believe that this kind of acceleration program and our strategy, Positive Motion, is helping in that sense.
Okay, so what would be your advice to startuppers tackling the deep science field?
That they would be very, very waiting for our challenges publication at the end of the year, that they would be proposing to us the solution, come and see, because we will be really flexible in trying to see case-by-case options, and that we are especially looking for those kind of deep science technologies that are focused in our strategy.
Do you work with universities as well?
We are going through the universities through the spin-offs. The spin-offs that are generated from the universities, they are really interesting for us. And this is also a process that would be capable and able to boost them.
Cool. So thanks a lot for sharing your new innovative proposals. Startuppers, you know where to apply. And thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.